Morning. Welcome to another session with Guru Wanda. Today, let's speak about how to destroy a society. It's natural that for purposes of sustenance, support, security, and procreation, men and women usually bond. When religion and the state get involved in this bonding, it's called marriage. Everyone needs physical, emotional, intellectual, social, and spiritual space. However, as is typical in a marriage, when two people are confined in a limited space, they tend to quarrel and snap. That is why marriages tend to stifle individuals. In a marriage, men and women often disagree on a variety of issues. Within reasonable limits, it's not only natural but even healthy. With respect, engagement, and accommodation, marriages can flower into a nourishing, reinforcing, happy, and productive bond. Unfortunately, due to a variety of reasons, engagement sometimes breaks down. Then the usual skirmishes flare up into an ugly war. Now, the remnants of the marriage begin to be crowded by strangers. Non-government organizations, lawyers, law enforcement agencies, the judiciary, the media, and many others begin wading into the conflict. Common to all these intervening elements is that they make a living off handling these type of conflicts, and they begin flexing their muscle and power. The man and women now become helpless pawns in a complicated multiplayer board game, in which their role is only to fuel and finance the conflict in which they themselves are the victims. Usually, the best solution for the warring couple is to simply separate, just as they were joined, without the need for anyone's consent or interference. Just informing the necessary government, judicial, and religious agencies. Currently, the Delhi High Court is hearing pleas seeking to make marital rape an offence. The honorable judges say, among other things, that the man will have to prove that she was a consenting party. This is a ridiculous proposition and against all principles of natural justice. Here, the accused, the man will have to prove his innocence. This sets up the man to be easily blackmailed, pummeled, and exploited by any disgruntled or bad wife. A husband and wife are almost always capable of resolving their own issues and come to an understanding, provided there is little or no interference by outsiders and the state. Once the government and judiciary get involved into the personal and intimate lives of people, it always causes them great harm, particularly to their liberty and sanity. It also inevitably promotes abuse and exploitation by many and fuels corruption. Judiciary and government should not usurp the role and responsibilities of man and woman in a marriage. A draconian law is necessary when it has impact on the vast majority and not the relatively rare cases. History has always shown that more the number of laws, more corrupt is the society. A question arises, who are driving these litigations? The stated goal of Marxists is using ideological subversion to destabilize and eventually destroy society as it exists, so as to rebuild along Marxist ideological lines. A key target for destruction by the left is the family institution, for it is one of the most fundamental and stable units of a society. Therefore, critics rightly say so, that Marxist-based feminism ideology is driving these pleas and demands for overreaching and intrusive legislation to empower a government machinery which is incompetent and disinterested in such matters to simply interfere, regulate, and control the lives of individuals and families, thus ruining them. For a better understanding, let's just step back, examine what we can learn from places where marital rape laws have been passed. America, because of its nature, is the testing ground for all concepts, good, bad, brilliant, or stupid. Not only that, Americans also analyze in great detail the impact of these concepts and seek to continuously improve. Studies and statistics available for the impact of where such legislation has been passed in America reveal some startling information. We have to remember that what happens in America is also representative of the modern developed Western countries. It reveals the number of people getting married has dropped by over 60% since the introduction of marital rape legislation. As a consequence, today, there is a total breakdown of the family unit. Few men now commit to women. As a result, people increasingly live a life of revolving door relationships, which is nothing but a multitude of temporary, unstable relationships. Though not intended, excessive government intervention on marital rape has hurt women and children the most. Today, more than 50% of all children, when they return from school, come home to a no-parent or a single-parent home. To counsel and assist the couples for resolving differences, to achieve enduring stable bonds, long-established successful social and community institutions are much, much better than the heavy hand of government. Homes broken by excessive government and judicial intervention always leads to a broken society. Now, how can that be a good thing?